Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
And we serve as the voice to the global Black community.
Again, we got Dr. Candace Matthews.
A lot of these documents, looking at.
This country is supposed to be about the land of the free for all. It has not been free for Black people, and we are tired.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
Peace, family. My name is Vicki Dillard for African Diaspora News Channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Family, you all know that Donald Trump has lost his mind when it comes down to BRICS. Some folks have forgotten that as soon as he took office early on, he threatened BRICS off the top. Don't forget that, yes? So he's concerned about what we call the global South, which many would say the most appropriate term would be the global majority. But nevertheless, the global South, which is disproportionately made up of a large number of most of the most melanated people of the planet, Trump has threatened them, yes, because of their alliance, yes, because they are not really heeding his threats very well. And of course, if you keep up with geopolitics, you will know that BRICS just had their latest summit just a few days ago at the time of this airing. And so Trump has made big threats to them, and he's talking about those that are them big, considering making an alternative currency. Well, you can't be threatening other countries, stealing, killing, and destroying, and then getting mad after you sanction them and cause their societies to suffer when they say, okay, we just won't be using y'all's currency and economic system. You can't get mad when they say we'll use a different economic system. That's crazy. Do right, and the people will stick with you. You see how that works? But when you don't act civilized, you do crazy stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? Watch this. I'm reading from a piece now written by Mr. Adigun here from Narrometrics. And it says here that Nigeria faced additional 10% tariff for aligning with BRICS. Of course, Trump said this, and this has been on multiple platforms, but I specifically wanted to read from the African publication. President Donald Trump has announced that Nigeria would be among countries facing an additional 10% tariff for aligning with what he described as, quote, anti-American policies of BRICS. The U.S. president made the declaration on Sunday via a post on Truth Social, adding fresh uncertainty to global trade relations, it says. Trump's announcement, which did not elaborate on any specific policy of BRICS, came as the group's meeting is underway in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Yes, the Brazilian government on January 17, 2025 announced the formal admission of Nigeria as a partner country of the grouping. So I need you all to remember that. The Nigeria is officially a part of the formal admission of BRICS, yes? And that was announced earlier this year. Nigeria became the 9th partner country of BRICS, joining Belarus, I should say, Bolivia, Cuba, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Thailand, Uganda, Uzbekistan. This partner country category was created during the 16th BRICS summit held in Kazan in October 2024. Yes? The bloc's leaders appeared to take aim at Trump's sweeping tariff policies in a joint statement on Sunday, warning against unjustified unilateral protectionist measures, including the indiscriminate increase of reciprocal tariffs. So Trump is doubling down and adding even more tariff threats, yes, because of this alliance. Now watch this. It says, without calling out the U.S., the leaders voiced their, quote, serious concerns about the rise of unilateral tariff and non-tariff measures which distort trade and are inconsistent with WTO rules. Family, it goes on to quote President Bola Tinubu, which is, of course, the president of Nigeria. I've discussed him some years ago, commitment to the BRICS partnership with the Global South. In a statement signed by his spokesperson, President Tinubu declared that, quote, Nigeria therefore associates with what I have heard today and all that has happened in BRICS. The next issues are financial restructuring and reevaluation of the global structure. He noted that environmental degradation, climate crisis, and global healthcare inequalities were shared concerns pertinent to Africa. He talked about even things like how Africa has contributed the least to global emissions, but suffers the most. He emphasized the need for a new path of justice anchored in fairness, sustainable technology transfer, and accessible financing so that the emerging economies can fully benefit from various initiatives. Now, there's more that he said. It was a pretty lengthy statement, which was, in fact, pretty good. But it says here, beloved, that President Tinubu in Nigeria has already made it very clear where they stand. Well, I want to remind you all of something that one of the Nigerian ministers said a few weeks ago. This is a Reuters article I'm reading from now. Headline: West Africa wants deals with Trump, but U.S. entry bans a barrier, Nigerian minister says. West African nations want to strike deals with the U.S. over energy, y'all listen, and rare earth minerals, but the Trump administration's looming expansion of travel bans risk derailing those efforts, Nigeria's foreign minister said on Wednesday. U.S. President Donald Trump this month implemented full or partial travel bans for foreign nationals from a dozen countries as part of the immigration crackdown. A possible broadening of the restrictions to an additional 36 countries would include nearly, are y'all listening? All of West Africa. Quote, this would be the most unfortunate, y'all listen, if it comes to pass, because we're a region of opportunities ready to do deals, said Nigeria's Yusuf Tuggar, who currently chairs Regional Bloc ECOWAS Council on Foreign Ministers. President Trump has upended long-standing trade relations since returning to the White House, using erratic tariff threats and aggressive tactics in a bid to secure better deals with trading partners. As a part of an agreement with Beijing, for example, Trump, you already know the story about that. I'm going to skip that. That's not the point I want to emphasize. This is the point I want to emphasize. Here we go. We, quote, we possess, y'all listen, critical minerals and even rare earths, Tuggar. Don't forget, he's a foreign minister for Nigeria, told West African government ministers, citing the example of samarium used for military-grade magnets and nuclear reactor-controlled rods found in his home state in Nigeria. Quote, we would like to do deals with the U.S., but visa restrictions are non-tariff barriers to deals. He also touted the oil and gas-rich region as an energy partner. We're also, I'm quoting him now, we're also a strategic alternative to more distant and politically divergent energy producers. So we will do deals for our prosperity. The only question is with whom, he said. Family, the foreign minister of Nigeria has double dared Donald Trump. Do it if you want to. Let me tell you all something. It's my belief that Trump has intentionally, and the White House, the State Department, and others have intentionally inflated the just illegal immigration issue in the United States with truly legal immigration to punish other African countries. So he's trying to amalgamate and to mix and to make basically a geopolitical cocktail with countries that he wants to bully for their resources. And those that are aligning with BRICS, he says, I'm gonna throw you under the bus and pretend like it's an immigration issue. And so before they really sit down to talk, I believe this is the reason why he made these threats about travel ban increases, specifically on almost all the West African countries, to ensure that they would be willing to come to the table and negotiate with the United States when they came down the pipe later on this other issue. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? He basically created a problem and made a threat early on that if you want to do this, you better do that. And they're saying, Trump, this is Vicki talking. During your first administration, you said that we are S-hole countries. So even if we suffered a little bit because of this, remember you said we were S-hole country, so we're going to be all right. I can't wait to hear what you have to say about it, beloved. Of course, there's more to this story, but I just want to share a little bit with you. My name is Vicki Dillard, beloved. I have an absolutely free upcoming webinar happening Monday, July 14th. You don't want to miss it. It's free. I'm going to be giving you the geopolitical breakdown about who's really behind the war over there in the Middle East and what that has to do with the petrodollar. Now, some of you all may be saying to yourself, Vicki, what does that have to do with me? But what you've got to understand, is that before you come to one of my geopolitical and spiritual war room sessions, which are offline, that's what I call them, war room sessions. Don't say that's a country over there and what that's got to do with me. Come learn what. Or you're going to be the one looking like the fool in the end. Go to my website at VickiPlanet.com. There's VickiPlanet.com, VICKI Planet.com. Share the broadcast. I can't wait to see you again.